Hi, it's Larissa Skippers, and I'm going to talk with you about the case study. Sorry, I've been sick, so my voice is not at its strongest right now. So the problem, what do I know? I know that the school has a prestigious reputation, and my evidence is on the right side. Dr. Forbes says Dr. Forbes is an established principal respected by parents, focused on maintaining a reputation as principal of the most prestigious school in the state. Second thing I know is that Miss Walker is accused of causing stress by the amount of rigor in her classroom. My evidence is that parents have called complaining about the stress levels of their children. And the third thing I know is that Miss Walker has been threatened. And my evidence is she logged on to her email, went to a website, and there was negative comments. And one of the comments that was the most threatening was, "Who wants Miss Walker to disappear?" What do I need to know? I need to know who sent the email. Was it a parent, student, teacher? My evidence for a student is Miss Walker says Randy Franks did this. However, we have possible motivation for parents as well, because they are causing their students stress, their children stress, and some parents are worried that their children are going to receive a bad grade and not get valedictorian. Second thing I need to know is this a death threat or a threat to have Miss Walker removed from school? So that comment, "Who wants Miss Walker to disappear?" need to figure out what that person means by disappear, and who created the website. Ms. Walker found an unidentified one that urged her to view a specific website. We need to know who this anonymous person is. Three things we know. Ms. Walker is being harassed. Three problems, sorry. Ms. Walker is being harassed. Ms. Walker hasn't made her classroom less stressful for students. And the third problem is a person or people created a website and or wrote inappropriate comments about Ms. Walker. Plan of action. 1. Gather evidence and make hard copies. 2. Get district technologists and possibly others informed, such as the superintendent or maybe police based on findings. And 3. Conduct interviews from students. Gather evidence and make hard copies. Make hard copies of the email and website. Take screenshots of the website that show the comments. And 3, write down the email address of sender and the timestamp. I think in a case like this, it's important to make copies of everything in case there are legal issues involved. Get the district technologist and possibly others informed, such as the superintendent. Inform district technologist of the situation and have him determine who sent the email and created the website. 2, since a teacher feels threatened, inform the superintendent of the situation. I think this is the best step, just to let him or her be aware of the situation, and you're kind of covering yourself too, in case there are legal issues involved. And 3, based on the finding, who sent the email and created the web page, and based on threats, possibly involve the police. Conducting interviews. Interview students of Ms. Walker with another colleague, and I think that's key. That way you have another person there, as just a colleague to communicate with, and it's always, safer to have somebody else with you in a case like this. And 2, ask students if they know who might have created the website and or sent the email. And 3, inform students that the school is in the process of figuring out who created the website and sent the email. And I think that's important because students might think, "Oh, I won't get caught," but if you inform them of what they're doing, they might, want to confess if a student did do this. Resolving the issues. Resolving issue based on promoting success of all students. What is best for all students? Show students the negative consequences of cyberbullying and harassment. This is a great scenario to show students this is the negative effects it's causing our school. Somebody is being bullied and harassed, and this is not okay. 2, that the school is a safe and productive environment by the administrator stepping in and tackling this on in a timely manner. Shows that he or she cares about the safety of the school, and if anybody threatens that safety, then we'll get to the bottom of it. It's not tattletelling, it's helping. So if a student is thinks that they are tattletelling on somebody, they're not. They are helping the school and, helping somebody's safety possibly. Resolution. 1. Follow through with consequences. If students were involved, follow through with school disciplinary procedures. If parents were involved, have a meeting with parents and include superintendent and the school lawyer. This shows responsibility for one's actions. 2. Inform Miss Walker of the outcome. Have a talk with Miss Walker about her classroom morale when the time is appropriate. Might not want to do this right away, but maybe a couple of days after this whole issue has resolved. By feeling secure and safe, she won't be at school worrying about her safety. A talk with Miss Walker is necessary to again emphasize that she needs to change some of her classroom procedures to create an engaging and positive environment. And 3, inform parents, staff, and community that slander will not be tolerated. This shows care for the entire community. It also shows that the school takes safety of its students and teachers seriously. So Standard 5 is definitely centered around this case study. The building level administrator is an educational leader who promotes the success of all students by acting with integrity, fairness, and in an ethical manner. So, demonstrate a sense of integrity and ethical behavior. I think the steps of the plan of action that I created hits this standard because I did not falsely accuse or jump to conclusions when Miss Walker said it was this student. 2, did necessary steps to create a safe environment by letting the parents know and letting the students know and helping Miss Walker feel safe. And 3, having consequences show ownership of behavior. Treat people fairly, equitably, and with dignity and respect. 1, gave students a chance to speak to show that their voices are important. If you have something to say, please let us know. This will really help us out. 2, informing the community, show care and respect for the community as a whole. By informing the community, you're saying, I'm giving the message out to you because I care about all of you and our students. So I think that's an important step. And 3, got experts that were necessary involved instead of conducting the procedures on my own. Demonstrate a personal and professional code of ethics. 1, don't jump to conclusions about who is accused, as I mentioned before. I didn't automatically go to that student and say, take him aside and just because Miss Walker thinks that he's a troublemaker, I didn't do that. 2, gather and evaluate evidence to lead to conclusions. That kind of ties in with 1, look at the evidence first based on what the district technologist says and other professionals. Maybe we'll find out who did this. And 3, performed actions in a timely manner and took this seriously. So Miss Walker called the administrator on a Sunday, answered his phone, and was very helpful with it. And so, and then by starting the process the very next day, I think that's very helpful. What I was thinking. 1, is the threat serious or a prank? So we need to define that word disappear. 2, how will this affect the school? Is this something that is traumatizing students and other teachers are scared now? And 3, how to comfort Miss Walker. She is probably at school and thinking about the situation, so how can we comfort her and how can we make her feel safe at school? What I was feeling, confused. First of all, are there legal issues involved? 2, sympathetic. Miss Walker is feeling threatened. And 3, protective. It is my job to create a safe environment for all at a school. What I was valuing. 1, Miss Walker's safety. 2, following school procedures. And 3, students' voice. Unresolved issues. 1, how do you discipline a parent if they were involved? 2, can Miss Walker press charges if this person was a student or even a parent, and is what would be the process of that? And 3, how to get Miss Walker to create a productive yet stress-free environment for students. So this would be something as an administrator I'd have to talk with her again and remind her again, and then if she is not following directions for making this classroom as stress-free as possible, possibly do some more observations on her, and maybe send her to some workshops and things like that, and then follow the necessary steps if she is not improving. And 4, to not single out the accused student. So the student that she thinks did this, we need to make sure that student isn't singled out, or that she doesn't have this hatred toward the student and doesn't, do things like give him failing grades or doesn't treat him equally as the other students. So that is my presentation.